It is what she said. I'm telling you.
Oh my
The
God.
last thing she said. What's up, guys? This is Brian.
Jesse.
You're watching MMA the hard way.
In the car.
Wow, dude.
This card delivered. This card
the best
really
fight card of the year, in my opinion.
Tied for the most KOs, TKOs since UFC 92, I think they were saying, or something like that.
Fantastic. So we're going to recap. Normally we do a breakdown of, say the Jones-Sonnen fight,
Yeah.
but we just had to do a recap.
We had to touch this stuff. We had to.
Man, oh man. That was one heck of a fight. The good thing is that because there were so many knockouts, every single fight was actually aired on TV.
No Facebook.
Both Facebook fights end up being rebroadcast on FX.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which you know how I feel about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was great. If you actually missed them and you DVR'd them or you were doing something, you could watch every single one of them. Maybe what we'll do is we'll just go up from the bottom up. First, we had that Cuban guy making his debut.
Yeah. There was, the first one that was, from the bottom up. First one was Yo Romero.
Yeah, versus Clifford Starks.
Clifford Starks, yeah.
Flying
knee, man.
Flying knee. And, dude, it was just beautiful.
Perfect. It was perfect.
Split-second timing accuracy, just gorgeous. He ended up getting one of the two knockout of the night bonuses.
Because no submission of the night. That's why.
Right.
Next is Anthony. Help me, my friend.
Njokuani.
Okay. Left hooked and into Roger Bowling.
Yeah, I mean,
walked right into
Bowling was just charging him like a bull, and he's just a precise counter striker. Saw it, and another thing, it was just beautiful technique
all
on
about
display
timing.
From the bottom to the top of the card.
Yeah.
Njokuani, great job.
Next fight was George Masvidal. Oh my goodness, I could always say his name. Masvidal versus Tim Means. It was unanimous decision.
Yeah.
George basically outworked him, outclassed him. That's pretty much the consensus that a lot of people were saying.
Yeah. I mean, it was he was one of the Strikeforce guys. It was just like, dude.
The guys that are coming over from Strikeforce, man, are no jokes.
Really good. I think
it's
they
like
have a very good track record.
It's like they're trying to prove themselves. Like, okay, just because we were in Strikeforce doesn't mean that we're pushovers,
Mm-hmm.
Next was T.J. Dillashaw versus Hugo Viana. I can't say enough about T.J. striking.
Dude.
Ever since he hooked up with Dwayne Banglove, I mean, it's just...
Yeah, Team Alpha Male is undefeated since
ass.
Dwayne Banglove became their head coach. And it's just great. I think what it is Uriah was just... He's like Superman, he was doing everything.
He's everywhere.
He just, you saw him. He was like everybody's corner man.
Yeah.
And it was like, you just can't do that. And Bang is still ranked in like the top, at least the top 100 in his weight class, and he hasn't fought in a while. You know? It's like...
But his striking is still kick-ass.
Yeah.
Next up was Joseph Benavidez versus Darren Uyinuyama. Thank you very much for the correction.
Uyinuyama, yep. Yeah, there we go.
Second round TKO.
Yeah.
We were expecting that. Expecting that.
He's just a beast, and we figured that's probably going to get him his rematch against Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
They don't have the pay-per-view card inked, but they have the date of August 31st.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only pay-per-view right now that's actually
open.
It's inked. The location's there, but no main event. So I'll bet you that ends up being the
either main or maybe even co-main event.
Yeah, it'll be main for sure.
Next one is Miles Jury versus Ramsey Najim. Another kill for he said Team Alliance. So that moves him up. That moves Miles Jury up. Up the totem pole. Next is Francis Carmot versus Lawrence Larkin. Of course, a lot were saying that Lawrence got robbed. So Francis, of course, won this one.
Yeah, he kind of did it in like GSP style too.
Hump and grind, basically.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, he got those takedowns, and I don't know.
But unless you keep yourself busy when you take someone down, I'm all for not to digress, keep it really quick and simple. But I agree with BJ Penn. If you take someone down, great. You gotta do something with it. You just don't hold them down, to get back up and get that point. It's stupid. It just doesn't make no sense.
They have to further define aggression and octagon control.
Yes, especially the octagon control part.
Yeah.
Next was this fight was kick-ass. Matt Brown versus Jordan Means.
Oh man,
Matt Brown was just pressure.
Ended up getting fight of the night.
You see the way he was chasing him down, just going around in circles, just chasing him.
He's just a different kind of a guy. He's so driven. I'm such a big Matt Brown fan now. I mean, even more than I was.
I mean, he finished Miller to begin with. Someone who's never been finished. Then Means, I mean,
really, I was very impressed with
I'm just salivating who they're going to put him up against, because that's going to be, it's going to be, he's just Josh Thompson versus Nate Diaz. First time Nate's been finished decisively. I mean, basically,
he had never been finished.
No,
he had never been submitted or knocked out.
And I mean that it started with those kicks. They weren't being checked, and that one kick got to him. And then you saw the face on Nate's face when he got punched. He was just like in the twilight zone. He was gone.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Thompson's gone hard 3 times with Melendez. Mm-hmm. You don't get anything but awesome from doing that experience.
Yeah. And a lot of people are thinking...
I would think Gilbert would have just said, dude, you got to keep your hands on this dude, because his head kicks are sick.
And the thing is that, even a lot of people thought that the last fight between Gilbert Melendez and Thompson, that Josh got robbed, that he got robbed, but that's another conversation. But, I think Nate needs to take some time off, reevaluate, check himself, because that's his second straight loss. They're not going to cut him, but it's just at one point you have to really kind of like analyze your game plan. But you're right.
What was shocking is that I didn't notice it at the time, but that his corner had thrown in the towel.
Right when they were.
I can't remember the last time I saw someone.
I've never seen it in a Diaz fight. I've never seen.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
No. And like you said earlier offline, I think you might have thought it was probably his brother, because he doesn't want his brother to get beat up.
Yeah.
Next was Daniel Cormier versus Frank Mir. You know what? Cormier's undefeated, and he said he was going to remain undefeated. He said he was going to let the fighting talk, but kind of boring a little bit.
I coined a phrase after watching that.
You heard it here first. What's the phrase?
Clinch and pinch. It's the standing version of lay and pray. And
even Daniel Cormier was saying that he wasn't very impressed with the way he fought. But a win's a win. But Mir talked about how he changed up his camp. He changed the diet.
Well, actually, he was in really good shape. And the thing is if Cormier would have not been clinching and would have wanted to just turn it into this brawl, and I'm gonna brawl you, I'm gonna take you down, I'm gonna brawl you, I'm gonna take you down. Hey, great. Let's stay in the middle of the octagon. Take me down. Let's see what. Let me play. But I gotta say, I mean, hey, Mir did not just like Franklin didn't have an answer for Anderson's knees.
Yes.
Mir didn't have an answer for the clinch. I hate the clinch, but hey, it is part of the game.
The thing is, a couple of times when he separated, he would go back to the thumb, and even
I know.
Joe Rogan was like, "No, don't clinch no more. Pretend like Daniel's glue or something." Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, but Frank needs to go back to setting up his takedowns and use his jiu-jitsu. Come on, he beat up Nogueira twice. I mean, he needs to go back to his bread and butter, his jiu-jitsu. I mean, everyone knows he's one of the top best jiu-jitsu guys in that weight class. And last but not least, Bennett Henderson versus Gilbert Melendez. That was a great fight.
It was
a great fight. I personally think, no flames, I think the fight should have either been a draw, or I think Gilbert should have got it split decision. I have to see the fight again and just really look at it again. But I think I wouldn't be surprised. Well, Dana White's already said that the winner of TJ Grant versus Gray Maynard is going to get most likely the next title shot.
That's already been in place. The thing is, Gilbert lost 0 fans.
No,
probably gained a ton. His next fight is definitely going to be a top 10 guy, probably a top 5 guy. And if he wins, he'll probably get the next shot. I mean, I can totally see that. And then the thing I happen to agree with you that I actually thought that he should have won. But then you look at the statistics and the striking statistics, and it's like, wow.
But I look at the striking statistics, but then look at the control. I mean,
yeah,
Gilbert was just always moving forward.
Striking, yeah.
Gilbert was always moving forward, and he caught. I know for a fact,
You can't. It's funny, yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt. You can't just always give the round to the guy that lands the most strikes. It's the guy that did everything.
The complete
aggression, octagon
everything.
control.
And I think Gilbert Melendez was pretty much fighting like Matt Brown, just chasing him down. It was a great fight. I personally think it should have been split decision towards Gilbert Melendez, but it is what it is. But I agree with you. He is going to probably get another title shot. A couple fights, he'll get another title shot. The guy is just. He was. I think this really tested Ben Henderson more than any of his other fighters. Yeah. And remember, he went to war a couple of times with Frankie Edgar, but he doesn't have the knockout power that Gilbert Melendez does. I mean, you saw Ben Henderson's face a couple of times when he got hit by Gilbert, and the one thing that amazes me about Ben Henderson is his kicks. I mean, he just chops people down. Yeah. He's got
that like an ankle kick or something.
Yeah, basically. Well, look, as a striker, you're gonna have all your power up in the front with that leg, that your front leg or whatever. So if you kick that base off, you're gonna topple like a tall tree. Yeah. He's got that down to an art form. So it was a great fight. So
great, man. Well, hopefully Wednesday we'll be back with a breakdown of the big
Uncle Chael versus John Jones.
Yeah, big pay-per-view going on.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
Big card. So thanks a lot for subscribing, for sharing this with your friends, and please subscribe right up there, and we'll check you out next time.
Keep the comments coming. Thanks a lot, you guys.